My name is Sandor Finta, architect and urban planner, and thank you for inviting me for this conference. At 2000, when I left the university, we started the classical architectural practices, so just designing stuff. But parallel this, because we felt that we need something more, and we started a non-profit organization. It's called Hungarian Contemporary Architecture Institute. It was 10 years ago, developed and funded by architects, urbanists, and non-professional civil activists, and running this institution, doing a classical, exhibitions, discussions, even uncomfortable discussions with the city leaders, such things. And then suddenly I got a phone call from a higher level politician that you should be the city architect. And I said, ooh, I never heard such a crazy idea. Okay, and after a few days we said, okay, but we should do something, because this is the time, not just discussing, not just criticizing stuff, but probably we can do something more. And then I became the city architect, and of course I doing the classical city architect things, developing the future development of the city, the long-term development, and holding architecture jury, and discussing with the developers, about the urban development. So I would like to just specify my very short presentation, just one thing. You have to know, in Budapest there is a double-layered municipality, which means there is one big municipality, and we have 23 districts. Each district has a chief architect. Each district has, city administration. So what does it mean? The municipality has no territory, or there is the whole territory. So it's always a big question. So what we did, we became and we started to act like an agency, and we set up a framework, a kind of fund, let's say. So we fund some leftover money in the budget. And we said, okay, we should do something. So we set up this, let's say, competition. But what can we do if you have just small money? I think we believe we should focus on the public spaces. And that's why we put in this competition, in the focus, the public spaces. So the municipality, let's say our agency was, who has the money and who set up the framework. And we call the district. So we call submissions with a group of different bodies. So a kind of consortium, the city district, and private investors, and the civil persons who working and living and formulating or non-formulating associations and such things. So it was a criteria of the competition. Of course, the district was always the project leader, but we always focusing whether is the consortium is a real one, so not just pretending such civil activism in the district. So actually it was just one project at the beginning, but then became very successful, and the politicians as well like it very much, and there was few more. Which is good with a different budget, but even still enough. And these were the criteria of the submission. So every submitted staff had to fulfill these criteria, which means the complexity was very important. So it should be not just a monofunctional regeneration of a public space, or regeneration of an empty storefront, or something like this, but it should be really a complex functional program. And we bring very interesting new functions in abandoned spaces and leftover spaces. Another thing is it should be innovative, so that the project which they submitted should be innovative in a way, so it shouldn't be follow the old rules. Actually, it was a big fail, this one anyway, so it was about the empty storefronts. I forget to mention, to be a chief architect is, what does it mean? It's actually a salesman between, great architecture and urban ideas to the politicians. So that's why we started a little bit salesing something. So make the empty storefronts visible. How many we have in the city? It's after the crisis we had several empty stores in even the historical city structure as well. So we wanted to raise the political awareness towards these empty shops. So we put some successful stories of the young startups. But we didn't want to stop for this. So we didn't want to just a makeup project, just covering, the ugly empty spaces. We put a financial structure behind that, and we try to sell it to the districts. But it's a very, very few results we had. Okay, the partnership was very, very strong criteria. So sometimes it happened that one district submitted a plan, and we got letters from the locals that we don't want to support that idea because we were not in the process. And then the district had to stop the project and reformulating a real one. So many community gardens was realized together with some schools, and another picture is show how the old urban furniture settled in a new way and a new setup, or which is good for the new form of urban living. And the community involvement was another criteria which was very, very strict, and actually it was very successful. Sometimes we make a call for this competition, and sometimes the local associations triggering the district that we should apply for this fund. And so sometimes we find very, very strong local communities to bring the project successful. Like here, the community garden, which was realized in a public park, is still now the part of the biological lessons. So they go to the park and doing stuff. So they help even in the maintenance as well. So which is very important. Another criteria you should be the economy recovering, and function expansion is also very important because the maintenance is always challenging. So I think we shouldn't make projects which after just based on the public money. So we try to put together the functional mix that always should be some market-wise function in there as well. So like this former boathouse, it changed a little bit the function, but the original usage still remained. But we had to put some new elements, some restaurants, some accommodations, some new functions to make it after easy maintenance. The district coming with a very nice design, we always not starting the discussion about the design, but starting about how we're gonna use it, how we're gonna maintain it, who and what budget for, and stuff like that. And after that, if it was okay, right, then we can talk about nice design. This project was very interesting. This is a market hall and a school and a huge empty parking space was settled, and we did a multifunctional space during the weekdays when the market is not attending by cars. They can use as a basketball play and different sport activities the empty parking plots. Of course, we had lots of lessons, and still we have. So I don't want to go into everything, but one is that I think the participants, or even some of the participants, should be a little bit overplay his former role. So an architect shouldn't be just an architect. Sometimes the architect is a mediator in the project, so not always the architects anyway, or the creatives. Sometimes the local people became the mediator of the whole process, but should be a little bit more this. In this process, actually, the architects was that, so it was an independent association working on this street furniture by own, year by year, and when we realized one of this public space regeneration, then we could invite them into the project, which is another lesson. So under the public procurement framework, the experiment is very challenging. All right, of course, you said the promotion is very important. So we, year by year, we put together the best practices in a booklet and try to make conferences to the districts and how can we learn together these practices. This is one thing I would emphasize. All right, thank you very much.